I really finalized this with you, boys and girls here, as you can see. Now, I'm sure now you can all hear me. Yeah, everything is fine, hopefully. Now, the last bits really here is, I think, a conclusion to the whole idea of self-reliance. Notice, let a man then know his worth. Let a man then know his worth and keep things under his feet. Let him not peep or steal or skulk up and down with the air of charity boy, a bastard or an interloper in the world which exists for him. But the man in the street, finding no worth in himself, which corresponds to the force which built a tower or sculptured a marble god, feels poor when he looks on these. I think the whole section here is absolutely important. When he's saying here, be yourself, know his worth, and make sure that keep things under your feet, meaning be positive and be sure of yourself. And he said, don't steal, don't peep, don't follow things in a stupid way. Like he's using so many. Don't be like a charity boy you are begging from people, or like a bastard or interloper or someone who exists because of others. But the man in the street, finding no worth in himself, which corresponds to the force which built a tower, meaning, again, always think of yourself as, someone who can do something. Don't rely on others to do things for you. Notice, to him, a palace, a statue, or costly book have an alien and forbidding air, much like a gay equipage, and seem to say like that, who are you, sir? Yet they all are his. Suitors for his notice, petty petitioners to his faculties, that they will come out and take possession. The picture waits for my verdict. It is not to command me, but I am to settle its claims to praise. That popular fable of the sot who was picked up dead, drunk in the street, carried to the Duke's house, washed and dressed and laid in the Duke's bed, and on waking treated with his obsequious ceremony like the Duke, and assured that he had been insane, owes its popularity to the fact that it symbolizes so well the state of a man who in the world a sort of sot, but now and then wakes up, exercises his reason, and finds himself a true prince. I think this is a lovely metaphor. Here the idea, if you find somebody in the streets who is really ugly, drunk, bad, blah, 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 you take that person, wash him up, clean him, absolutely, give him the best clothing, and put him in a palace, and put him sleep in the Duke's bed, and the next day he will wake up and will feel that he's a Duke. This is the idea. This is the idea. He finds himself a true prince. So means inside you, inside each one of us, each one of us, I think we can always be what other people who are great can be. Really, that's really the question here. That each one of us can be a great person. We have all the elements, we have all the ingredients, We have all the material. We have all the ingredients, I say, to be great people when we are given the chance. You see? So really, this is the idea here. Meaning, you should know your value, your worth, as he said. Our reading is mendicant and syncophantic. In theory or in history, our imagination plays us false. Kingdom and lordship, power and state are a gaudier vocabulary than private John and Edward and etc. He goes on to say again, I think, in a very really amazing conclusion. The world has been instructed by its kings, who have so magnetized the eyes of nations. It has been taught to this colossal symbol the mutual reverence that is due from man to man, the joyful loyalty with which men have everywhere suffered the king, the noble, and the great proprietors to walk among them by a law of his own, makes his own scale of men and things, and reverse theirs, pay for benefits, not with money, but with honor, and represent the law in its presence, in his person, was the hieroglyphic by which they obscurely signified their consciousness of their own right and comeliness, the right of every man. Yeah. The right of every man to be what he is, a great person for himself. Well, there are a lot of funny and maybe unbelievable and maybe imaginative and maybe you don't believe it, but this is it. Really, this is a very strong text, very, really strong text for all of us to think about and to meditate and to really evaluate. And that's, of course, we say self-reliance, to rely, to totally depend, to trust yourself, depend on yourself, don't be blind, feel good, feel great because you are great. Feel it, act it because you are that, and this is really the question here all the time. And I really always do this myself. I always ask my students and my people and my children and everybody that I know, don't follow blindly. Use your mind, use your senses, use your wisdom, use your virtue, and really this is the idea. Okay, we want to learn. Yes, we want to learn, but we don't follow blindly. We follow with our minds. We follow with our minds. And really this is the main thing that this passage is about. The whole thing here that our friend Emerson is saying. Emerson is such a great, really American poet and philosopher who wrote a lot of stuff, really. He's a great man, I think, in every sense. Well, that's it about prose. We have finished, as you can see. We have done a lot of examples of prose, from fable to parable to, short story and to autobiography and to the essay, biography or autobiography and the essay. These are all examples that we have done. Now, the exam, ladies and gentlemen, the exam will be similar to what we have done in the second term, the last exam, which I sent to you last few days before. We will have a passage, or two, and then an essay. A passage or two, and then an essay, or a passage, a small question, and then an essay. A passage, a small question, and an essay. 10, 10, 20. 10, 10, 20. Are you following?
Yes, doctor.
Yeah. I just want to say, I was so happy that, I had really I was so pleased with many of you really in the exam. I wanted to say really, I said on their papers, those people who really did very well, I was very happy with them. I was really, I'm proud, to be honest with you, I'm proud with most of you, really. You have done really great job. People have shown me that they have understood, and they are really intelligent, and they have minds and character and opinions and so on. I want you to develop these things and to show me more. Okay? Really, I'm talking to all of you, really all of you. I don't want to mention names here because they will say, well, why did you mention her, not me? But those people, I think I was very happy with. Maybe I should stop recording because that's not needed to be recorded.